Hey, if you're watching this, it means you're interested in this course, or at the very least, the topic of working with thoughts. And I think the first thing I'll just say around that is that you are not alone. This is one of the biggest things that I've been hearing over the last 10 years as a teacher from my students, which is how do I work with my thinking mind? I have very anxious thoughts. My mind is always ruminating. I think very negatively. My thoughts get in the way of me achieving certain things that I want. They even get in the way of my healing process. And I just feel like I can't be with my mind. Maybe that's been an experience you've had as well. Just this feeling like, get me out of myself. It's too tormenting or chaotic or difficult to be in here. So if you've had that experience, first just know that you're not alone. You're in good company. If you're a human being, it means you have thoughts, and it also means you struggle with thoughts. And I can say that because I've worked with enough people, and I haven't seen any exception to that yet. We are not given an owner's manual for how to work with our thinking mind. And really, even if we do get a basic understanding of maybe how to think positively or shift our thoughts from one to another, we do not get an in-depth immersion for how to work with the mind as a whole, all the different thoughts that come up, how to use thoughts as a form of wisdom versus noticing when thoughts are coming from fear or ego. That's a whole art to itself that, at least for me, I was never educated on. And even with immersive meditation training, there were limitations to what I learned in terms of how to work with my thinking mind. And so this course is a long time coming. As some of you might know, I did a masterclass on working with thoughts about a year ago. It was my most popular class to date. And this is really an extension of that, seeing just how deep of a need there is to do an immersion into this topic, where we not only cover all the foundations for how we work with the thinking mind, how we work as thinking humans, how we develop clarity and concentration, focus, learning to shift our attention, learning to think positively and optimistically, cultivating wholesome thoughts, disidentifying with the thinking mind, parsing the soul's thoughts from the ego's thoughts. Not just that education, but also the very practices that cement that into our being so that it becomes our default expression in the world, where we're not just walking around tormented by our thinking mind, or perhaps at best feeling like we're ignoring it for a period of time, or just having positive thoughts. We get lucky for a stretch where the mind just is thinking positively and good, and it doesn't feel like it's bothering us. And then stuff hits the fan, or the rug gets pulled out from beneath us, and we're just back to working with these thoughts and feeling helpless in response to them. So here's what we're doing with this course. This is going to be a comprehensive, immersive education and practice in working with the thinking mind. It's 8 weeks long. We're going to meet every week for 2 hours. That's going to be a deep dive education. There will be maybe some Q&A during that period, but that's primarily me teaching. Now, that itself is going to be a really solid foundation, and that's where you're going to get all of your tips and tools and simple strategies that you work with in the moment as you're going throughout the day, so that by the time this course is over, you really have a solid toolkit to work with whatever could come up in the mind. But it's not just that, and that's what is making this course unique. For the first time, I am going to be offering live meditations 5 days a week throughout the duration of this course. They'll be about a half hour in length. You don't need to attend live if you can't. They'll be recorded. But this is really where, and I don't mean to belittle you by saying the hand-holding comes in, but at least in my experience, when learning to work with my thinking mind, I really needed someone there each step of the way to be instructing me to work with the different roadblocks I would hit with my thoughts. And I'd get to some place where, I can be open and expansive with my thinking mind, but then something would come up and it's like, wait, I need to actually use my thinking mind. I can't just totally disidentify from it. I need it in my day-to-day life. And having instructors and mentors, which I didn't always have, was really useful. And the daily meditations are going to be me being with you there each day as we go through this course, so that it's not just an immersion for 2 hours once a week and then I'll see you next week. It's we do that and then we pick up the next day with practice, and we build each day on the practice from the day before, so that we're building the internal scaffold to not only hold thoughts in a different way, but work with them in all the different contexts that you might need to. So that is going to be like the going to the gym. That is where we get our reps in, and that's where at the end of this 8-week period, you are going to have a full education, but you're also going to have a lot of practice under your belt, and that practice will have built on itself, developing a certain momentum and a really deep understanding of how to be in relationship to the thinking mind, not just in meditation, but outside of meditation as well. Because meditation, it's a training ground. And it's not like you're going to any mystical place, right? You can do it right now, you close your eyes, you tune in, and you start paying attention. So we take that dedicated period of time to pay attention, to learn, and to practice working with those sticky thoughts as they arise, or the rumination, or the negativity, or just the noise itself. And then that starts to transfer organically into your day. And I'll also give you the tools to make it more conscious throughout your day if you need that. So, that's the nuts and bolts of this. That is going to be the core of this curriculum. Big thing, we're working with thoughts. That's the deep dive education we're getting. 8 weeks, 2 hours per week immersion into that every day, 5 days a week. I'll give you the weekends off, but I'll give you meditations, recordings that you can use if you want to do it on the weekends as well. Each day we'll be doing some practice, and then I'm going to be peppering in Q&As about 4 times, maybe more throughout the 8-week period, so that we can really address what might be coming up for you personally. Everything's going to be recorded. You'll get lifelong access to that. So all the core sessions, all the meditations, I don't know how many meditations that's going to be, but it'll be a lot, and you'll have access to that forever. So that'll be like a whole course in itself. All the Q&As will be recorded, and there's lots of bonus content that you'll get as well that you'll get immediate access to as soon as you sign up. So if you want to start diving into some meditations or some education, you'll get that when you sign up. So all of that to say, you don't need to attend live. It would be great to have you there live, but if the schedule doesn't work out for you or certain sessions you can't make, that's fine. Most of my programs, many people, the majority of people do attend through the recordings. So if you're interested in this topic and you want to put it in your learning library, and you can't attend everything live, or maybe you live in a time zone that makes it difficult, you could still sign up and you'll get lifelong access to this. I won't be reselling this course in the future, so if you are interested, this is the time to sign up. But if you've just been someone who has felt like this is an area of my life, my thinking mind, that I see has an impact on my well-being, I see it has an impact on how much I suffer, has an impact on my relationships, my identity, my sense of self, my sense of okayness, my sense of am I lost or not, and you're ready to do something about it, this is the course for you. This is why I'm doing this. I really want to tackle and dive into this topic deeply, fully, full immersion, education, and practices, so that on the other side of it, you do have a transformed relationship to your mind. And I can't think of anything that would be more powerful. So, and because it's been the most powerful thing for me. I mean, my meditation practice has essentially eliminated my inner critic, and if it does arise, it has so little influence over me right now. My last handful of years of working with thoughts, after all of the benefit I got from my meditation practice, has really been learning to parse, okay, which thoughts are worth listening to? How do I know a certain thought is coming from a deeper place in me versus a thought that's coming from anxiety or fear? That's an education I didn't get in my contemplative training. It's one that I had to make up for, and it will be how we complement this like baseline learning of just being with thoughts as thoughts, but then also when we use thoughts, how do we make sure we're doing that intentionally? And learning to do that, that has been almost a greater gift than learning to just be at peace with thoughts as they come and go, because it's allowed me to take intentional action in my life that keeps me in alignment with a deeper place in me. So I'd love to have you there if this is pulling you. All the details, you can read more below, but the basic synopsis is in this video. Registration is there. If you have questions, reach out, but it should be pretty straightforward. We'll be meeting on Zoom, and we start October 26th. So thanks everyone, and really hope to work with you in this upcoming program. It's going to be a big one, and I've never done anything like this, so I'm excited. Lots of love. Take care.